This was my dilemma. I've got a steep sloping site, I've got access issues across the neighbours, which is a drama. When it rains, a ton of water comes down here, so I've got drainage concerns. I've excavated, and I need a retaining wall. What was I going to do? Well, in the end, it was obvious. I needed gabion walls. Now, some of you might recognise these from the side of freeways as you hurtle down on the side of the road. Now, these are very popular in civil arrangements, but in a residential project, becoming more and more popular. Now, I have Dale Chachuk from Macquarie, the company who specialise in these, here to tell me about why these are becoming so popular.
Well, there's a number of advantages over conventional or typical type retaining walls like concrete and block walls, etc. The first advantage being that gabions are porous, so 30% of a gabion is typically air. So pore water pressures are easily dissipated through the structure. You've just got to make sure you've got a geotextile filter fabric behind the wall to trap your fines by including a geotextile filter fabric like you see behind these walls here.
Yep.
What you're doing there is you're retaining the fine particles of your backfill behind the wall, but still allow those pore water pressures to be dissipated through the structure. They're also cost effective. Basically what you've got is you've got woven mesh, you've got rock fill, which is sourced from your local quarry,
yep,
and makes it quite a cost effective type solution.
And a fairly quick one too. These have gone up relatively fast.
They sure are, they sure are. You've got to make sure if you can that you do have a bit of experience with gabion installations. They're not a low-tech type system. It's not that you want to sort of make up cages, pour rock in with an excavator and walk away.
No, and I've watched the guys build these. I mean, they're hand by hand, everything is placed. You've got to face up the front of that wall.
That's right, that's right. You can use a small excavator or bobcats to assist with the packing, but most definitely the faces need to be hand-dressed.
They do look different. We don't see any of these in a residential environment. I mean, what else can you do? I mean, we've used basalt here. What else can you do with a gabion?
Well, you can use any type of rock that's really hard and durable. There are some tests you can do on the rock. Obviously, you'd like the rock to last as long as the gabions do. So typically a hard type of sandstone typically suffices.
I've seen pebbles.
Pebbles, that's right. So you've got to be careful with pebbles though. They're a bit more difficult to pack.
Okay.
It's almost like standing on a bag of marbles and trying to get straight edges.
Absolutely, okay.
So you've got to make sure that you have extra bracing in those gabions just so they don't bulge.
Mate, one of the greatest things on this site is that I didn't have to prepare any footings. I didn't have to do any foundation work. I mean, tell us about that.
Well, that's also a big advantage of the woven mesh gabions, the fact that you don't need any specialised foundation treatment. That's typical, obviously, of situations. If you do have problems with expensive soils, dispersive soils, you may have to look at that individually. But with most gabion installations, all that you really need is topsoil stripping, level it off, and just make sure you remove all organic type material from your foundations.
Well, Dale, thank you very much. And once this wall's finished and dressed up with a whole bunch of plants, it'll actually soften up and look fantastic. It's been a real success on this project. Maybe a gabion wall is a consideration for you.